But you know what? Something just occurred to me. So I'm welding a what I think is going to be a log lift, and I'm recording it. So something popped in my head, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and record it before I lose my train of thought. And what I was thinking about was that ever since 1973, the Heritage Foundation have been working their asses off to get to this moment. It's a pivotal moment for them. Their first one was in 1981, and that was when they published the Mandate for Leadership. They gave that to our newly elected president, Ronald Reagan, and Reagan gave it to his cabinet members. And in 8 years, they managed to implement 60% of it. But that was Reagan, a malleable man, who was at one time the president of the Screen Actors Guild, a union man, a compassionate, empathetic man whose political ideologies were influenced by his wife Nancy and her ultra-conservative father, Dr. Loyal Davis. This time, the Heritage Foundation and their Project 2025, which is actually the Mandate for Leadership on meth, have hitched their wagon up to Trump and given him the reins. So that is what struck me. All is not lost, because how many folks do we know that have hitched their wagon up to Donald Trump and have been able to ride off into the sunset? Zero. He's a career ender. He's a life ender. So the Heritage Foundation, the members, their writers, their think tankers, their lobbyists, maybe even their donors are headed to their last roundup. There are other organizations that are responsible for Project 2025, and they're all listed in the copy of the mandate that I have. We are where we are because of greed, plain and simple. Those at the top are the instigators. They are the ones that provoke us and divide us. At our core, we are a nation of progression. And they use those progressions against us in order to fill their coffers. The 60s, Civil Rights Movement. The 70s, Women's Liberation Movement. 80s, New Right Movement. 90s, Environmentalism. 2000s, Anti-War Movement. 2010s, Black Lives Matter, Me Too movement, marriage equality. I'll admit, that was a lot for one decade. 2020s, the MAGA movement. So the real reason why we are so divided is simply greed. Since 1980s, the radical groups have funneled $50 trillion from the bottom 50% of Americans to the 1%. The Democratic Party, they won big this November because of swing voters. All that hard work of all those conservative think tanks is going down the drain because they gave the reins to a madman who has its own agenda 47. So James Carville is right again. It's the economy, stupid. Jeez. Oh, yeah. And fuck you, Trump. And fuck all you greedy bastards for doing this to us.